98 Not Out. Sponsored by Shepherd Neame, proud supporters of cricket in Essex.
The Eagles victim of love, especially for our guest. Welcome to 98 Night Out. Reece Topley. Reece, how are you?
I'm very good, Brett. How you doing?
I'm not too bad at all. How are you coping with everything?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm with my family, which is nice to get some family time in the summer, which is unusual. But
keep your dad away from the phone.
Oh no, he's a long way away from the phone. This is my time.
He hasn't got his shorts on, has he?
He probably has. I haven't seen him too much today. He's been gardening, but the short shorts are probably on and those pins are out.
The Eagles. That's an interesting choice. What was? Is there any story behind that one?
No, I just like the Eagles a lot.
Palace. Or the Essex Eagles.
Yeah, the Essex Eagles got a special place.
Of course, yeah.
I love the Eagles.
Yeah, they're great.
Band.
Now, you've been TikToking quite a bit, haven't you?
I have. That's my new addiction. That's my favourite pastime now.
I've not got into it yet.
Are those genuine, those videos, or is there a little bit of trickery, pokery going on?
No, they're what do you mean?
Well, when you're throwing things, when you're smiling at the camera and lobbing something over your shoulder and it goes in a basket or whatever.
Well, I've got the time to try 700 times at this point. So it's not like it's been, plain sailing right the way through. It's been a lot of perseverance and pulling my hair out. But yeah, no.
My son's really impressed. Put it that way.
No, good.
Reece, how's the fitness? How's the back going?
Yeah, it's really good, but common thing for me in the start of a cricket season, I'm still not playing any cricket, even though I am fit this time, which is a bit unlucky. But there's bigger problems at the minute. So
yeah,
what can you do? You just do your bit and stay inside, and we'll find out Sunday more.
You've had a bit of a journey with your back. Maybe you want to just tell listeners the history of the stress fractures and the operations and the decisions you've had to make. It goes back a few years, doesn't it?
Yeah, the first issue I had was when I was away with England Lions, and I was 18 or 19, and I had my first stress fracture, and I naively probably agreed to go away and play some cricket in the winter with them, because obviously when England come calling, it's something that you wouldn't take lightly, and at 18 I couldn't really turn away or turn it down. But yeah, I had my first problem there, and then that didn't heal properly, and that was a stress fracture. So it happened about maybe 8 months later. The same fracture went again. But then I decided to have a long time out, and Essex were really, really good, and I had about maybe a year off, sort of getting back to fitness, and then just playing limited games. And Paul Grayson, who was the coach at the time, and Silvers was the bowling coach, they were really good with managing me, and I got through that, and then I got called up for England and played a winter with England as well. And then unfortunately I signed to Hampshire that season, and obviously playing a summer and then a winter and then coming back for the summer again. It was strongly recommended by the ECB that I had some time off, but it didn't happen like that. Hampshire didn't see it like that for some reason, for one reason or another, and I ended up playing that game. But it wasn't my back that was an issue. I copped one on the glove and broke my hand. Oh. But then ultimately having a lot of downtime, it didn't bode well for my back, because the rest time was not long enough that everything settled down, but it wasn't short enough that I could sort of just hit the ground running again. So I had another stress fracture, but it was in a different place. And then, to be honest, that was just a recurrence for over the next 2 years from that, and then ultimately it led to me taking my future into my own hands. And
that was a big call, that.
Yeah, it was, but I think I needed a bit of freedom, because if you do the same thing over and over again and you get the same results, I think Einstein said that's the sign of insanity.
Yeah, it was indeed.
So I needed to sort of break the cycle, in my opinion, and I did that, and I relied on connections and friends, and they were unbelievable, and I'm very lucky to have the support network that I have, and they were all unbelievable, and they got me back playing. Maybe it was, I got back playing at my own pace, and obviously that was down at Sussex, which it was good fun there last year.
With your old mate Tamal.
Yeah, no, it was good to see Tamal again, and I made some new friends in that side. There's some really, really good blokes. So yeah, I mean that year itself was probably one of the funnest years that I've had since signing as a professional. And the irony was that I was only actually employed for 3 months of it. So.
Well, it's good that you're having fun again after all of those. There must have been some dark days down those years you were talking about.
Absolutely.
In fairness to you, you've never really shown it publicly to let it get on top of you too much. You've always put a big smile on, and for people that see you, I know, I know I've seen you at other times, well, but you haven't. You're not one of the. You've not bemoaned it, have you? You've not sort of cursed it and.
Nah. Well, I think I would have taken a different approach if there was something that I, was in my control, that I wasn't doing. For example, if I wasn't working hard or whatever. But I think I got to the point where, and other coaches had seen this, that almost every avenue was exhausted, and it's almost like, what can you do? And cricket, like now, in our situation, cricket isn't the be all and end all right now. There's a lot of people that are struggling, whether it's work or the virus itself or whatever. And no matter what happens on a cricket field, the sun still rises in the morning. So I took that approach. And I think I did come to terms with that I might never play cricket again, but it wasn't anything that I did or anything in my control. But then what I did do is I just worked hard, and I managed to get to a place where I'm back playing and performing at a level I want to.
That's a really good attitude, mate. I mean, to hear you talking like that is very, very grown up, I suppose, is the word I'm looking for. But I think it shows a lot of strength to sort of deal with it on those terms. Definitely.
Of course, but like I said, my friends and family were really good, and I owe it to them, to be honest, because. In sports teams you can be doing well and you're the most popular bloke in the world, and then as soon as things aren't going your way, no one wants to talk to you. And I did feel a victim of that. When I was playing for England, and people were wanting to speak to you or whatever, and then fast forward 2 years where I said I didn't want to play, or I turned down staying at Hampshire just to be on my own for sort of 6 months. That I was well aware that I was, the bottom of the pile at that point, and it's amazing that your real friends sort of stick by you and support you, and then you separate who does and doesn't. So,
well, not many people can say that they've opened the bowling in a World Cup final, but you can.
Well, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, we didn't come away with the winners' medal in that, but. I mean, you fast forward, I think it was 3 or 4 years, and last summer you had the miracle at Lords. So.
Yeah, it was indeed. So the future for you, will it mainly now be white ball cricket, or would you like to maybe, if you could get back to red ball cricket as well? No,
if I could sum it up, all I want to do is, I'm living in London, I live in Clapham, which is, a lovely area.
Yeah, lovely, nice part.
That I feel that's my home, and I've got a really, really good team of coaches that are supporting me. I've really got the most amazing teammates at Surrey, and all I have set out over the next 2 years that I've committed to Surrey is that I just want to perform whatever role I'm given to the best of my ability, whether that's red or white ball. I just want to contribute to them.
It's only 2 stops on the tube as well, isn't it, the Oval?
Exactly. It's literally it's just up the road, so it's worked out perfectly. It's a lot shorter than the drive down the
A12.
Yeah.
Not as picturesque though, is it?
No. Stockwell hasn't got too many sites in it. So.
No. Well, it's got some sights, just not ones you necessarily want to see again. So obviously you've had your 100 contract cancelled this week, along with everyone else. It's quite wide news. What would you think will happen next year? Do you think it'll be another draft? Do you think it'll just be recontracted, or no one not said much?
To be honest, I don't think there'll be another draft. I don't think the fans, the first draft was very lengthy.
Oh yeah, it was,
as you'd expect, because you're redrafting positions, 1 to 15 or whatever it was. But then I think the idea going forward is that you were going to retain, say, 10. So then the draft next year, you're only actually picking sort of five or six places or something. So it was going to be a lot quicker. I don't think fans want to sit through another, few hours picking teams. I think you should. The people that will change, I think, will be the overseas, because obviously the international calendar will be different.
Yeah.
So maybe you should cancel those and redraft the overseas. And I think there was 1 or 2 spaces left for domestic players. So I think that's, it could be, that's a maximum of 4 spots. I think that could be like a nice sort of, relaunch or something. But I think that we will, whether or not it's the same salary, obviously because of the financial implications of the virus, I think we will be on similar salaries, if not a bit less, almost, or say 70% of what the salary we were taking for this year, and the overseas players might get redrafted. But I think we'll more or less stay.
There were also a couple of notable absentees from the draft last time. There was no Malinga and no Universe Boss, so maybe it opens the door for them.
Again, a year older though, so
that doesn't stop those boys.
Who knows about those guys, because they've been in class for so long, and predicting someone's downfall probably is one of the hardest things to do, because if you're playing against them and you think they're old and past it, that's when they come and show their class, really.
That's right.
So I don't think anyone's going to write guys like that off. But like I said, I think the overseas players might be a bit different due to different international commitments in the 2021 season. So who knows?
And for once you get back playing, is the plan to maybe get involved in some franchise T20 around the world, play what you can play, or will it be a case of just having to be an English summer and then maybe resting up and taking it easy?
Well, this winter I had opportunities to play franchise cricket, but I did talk to Alex Stewart about it, and it was sensible not going into the draft for some places and not going to play here and there or whatever, just to make sure that I was fit for Surrey this summer. And had I known this would have been the case, I'd have obviously gone back and played a lot more. I'd had a lot of time sitting on my bum now, so it's just the way it's worked. But like I said, there's that is at the back of my mind, and I think everyone just wants to sort of sort out the current situation first, and then we can get back to normal.
Later on our show tonight, we have got an old roommate of yours, Harry Gurney.
Oh yeah,
is that right? I was told that he was a former roommate of yours. I think probably with England it would have been, wouldn't it?
I can't remember. But we have spent a lot of time together, because he's been in Melbourne when I've been in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And we've spent a lot of time together like that, and it's nice to pick Harry's brain, because he's obviously a very good performer in white ball cricket, and he's a lovely bloke as well. So it's been amazing to get to know him over however many years it's been now, and he'll be a good guest, I'm sure.
Well, listen, Reece, thank you so much for joining us, and it's really good to hear your voice and hear you speak so sensibly about and as Brett said, you've never been one to moan about your lot. You've always been positive, and we are, both of us here, and I'm sure lots and lots of our listeners are looking forward to seeing you back in action and knocking those stumps over in the way that we used to see you doing. And you can hit the heady heights of Essex Young Player of the Year 2012 again, maybe.
Who knows? Who knows?
Listen, mate, go well, take it easy, and we'll keep in touch, and we'll be watching out for you.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, Reece. Thanks a lot.
See ya.